Hi everyone, it's me again, and today I want to tell you about the topic how we see color or why do we see color. I promise you it's a very interesting topic, so let's get started. Here, you might have heard that light is a kind of wave and that the color of an object is related to the frequency of light waves it reflects. And you can see the red apple here, right? But in this idea of physical color, they say that when the lights are shining on the apple absorbs all the other colors and reflects the red. So you can see the red apple, but it's not the red. It's amazing, very interesting, right? And how do the frequency light waves look? You can see the right picture here. The high frequency light waves look violet and the low frequency light waves look red. And in between frequencies, light waves look yellow, green, and orange, and so on. You might call this idea physical color because it says that color is a physical property of light itself. Is not dependent on human perception, and while this isn't wrong, it isn't quite the whole story either. For instance, you might have seen this picture before. As you can see, the region where the red and green lights of light is yellow. When you think about it, this is pretty weird because light is a wave, as I said before. Two different frequencies should not interact with each other at all. They should just coexist like singers singing in harmony, right? So, in this yellow-looking region, two distinct kinds of light waves are present, one with a red frequency and one with a green frequency. There is no yellow light present at all. So, how come this region where the red and green lights mix looks yellow to us? To understand this, you have to understand a little bit about biology, in particular about how humans see color. Here, you can see our airball, right? Light perception happens in the uh, paper thin layer of, of cells called retina that cover the back of our eyeball. There are in the retinal there are two kinds of cells of light detecting cells called rods and cones. The rods are used for seeing in low light conditions, and there is only one kind of those. The cones, uh, however, are a different story. There are three kinds of rows of cone cells uh, uh, that roughly correspond to the colors. You can see here red, green, and blue.
You see a color. Each cone sends its own distinct signal to the brain. For example, suppose that yellow light, that is real yellow light with a yellow frequency, is shining on the right. You don't have a cone specifically for detecting yellow, but yellow is kind of close to green and also kind of close to red. So both the red and green cones get activated, and each sends a signal to the brain saying so. Of course, there is another way to activate the red cones and the green cones simultaneously if both red light and green light are present at the same time. The point is the brain receives the same signal, regardless of whether you see light that has a yellow frequency or light that is a mixture of the green and red frequencies. That's why for lights, red plus green equals yellow. And how come you can't detect colors when it's dark? Well, the rod cells in the retinal take over in low light conditions. You only have one kind of rod cell, and so there is one type of signal that can get sent to your brain, light or no light. Having only one kind of light detector doesn't leave any room for seeing color. There are infinitely many different physical colors, but because we only have three kinds of cones, the brain can be tricked into thinking it's seeing any color by carefully adding together the right combination of just three colors, red, green, and blue. This property of human vision is really useful in the real world. For example, TV manufacturing. Instead of having to put infinitely many colors in your TV set to simulate the real world, TV manufacturers only have to put three, red, green, and blue, which is lucky for them, really. So, see you next time. Goodbye.